Hello, welcome. It's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome. Had to scoot the camera over because I realized I wasn't in the middle of the camera. Anyway, welcome. If you are here for the new moon in Sagittarius New Moon, you are at the right place. If you are here for Mercury Retrograde, you are in the right place. If you are here for your weekly transits, you're here again, right place. And also, we are going to do horoscopes and tarot for each sign. On top of that, what else do we have? I had some current videos up, I'm sure, on YouTube. I'm trying to think what was the last one. Oh, it was December's tarot reading. So go ahead and check that out. I also did a podcast. Check out my podcast. I recently did one on a current event and I talk about astrology and I connect astrology and explain the meaning with the current event. It's a little more controversial over there. So go ahead and check out that. And then also too, if you want to listen to this while driving, this is also going to be up on a podcast. So welcome to all my podcast listeners as well. Okay, so let's talk about currently what we have in the sky. In the vibe in the sky currently, we have Sun and Mars is in Sagittarius, Mercury is in Capricorn, Venus is in Scorpio, Jupiter and Uranus both are still retrograding. Remember, all those outer planets were retrograding. If you're new to astrology, they were. Now we're just left with two. But let me tell you currently what we have when it's Sun and Mars in Sagittarius. I briefly go over in case you missed the weekly transit. So, Sun and Mars in Sagittarius, Sagittarius energy. And I also do videos on each sign and I go really in detail on each sign. I haven't done Sagittarius, but look out for that. But so far, what we have for Sagittarius is it's so far. Because I haven't done a video, this is what I'm giving you. Sun and Mars, I've discussed them individually, but because they're both in the sign Sagittarius and they're really close together, and they're not that close together, they're a conjunct. You can feel them strong together. When they are kind of separated within a certain amount of degrees, the Mars or whatever planet that's conjunct that sun, it starts to diminish its power. So Mars is not as strong in Sagittarius, but we still do have two planets in Sagittarius. So, what does that mean? It's an adventurous spirit, optimism, and enthusiastic energy, independence and freedom. Sagittarius energy wants its independence. You cannot boggle them down. Energetic and active lifestyle. Very extrovert energy because we are talking about fire. Straightforward communication. And I know we are not talking about Mercury yet, and Mercury will be in the sign Sagittarius retrograding, but you're trying to achieve things. The sun represents the outward energy, what mostly everyone's going to be feeling. Philosophical and intellectual exploration, because Sagittarius loves to explore, is very curious, impulsive, restlessness, courage, and initiative. Also, you can be overwhelmed because you're signing up to do too many things because Mars is that energy and Sun is the ego. Okay. So definitely the freedom part, overwhelming, overcommitting, very social, very, very social, maybe overly optimistic, a risking things kind of energy. So just be aware of that when you have that. Now, Mercury is also in Capricorn, and we'll get more detailed in Mercury retrograding in the sign Capricorn. I have one like a mock neck, and I don't like turtlenecks. So if you see me constantly pulling, I mean, I like the look, but you know. Anyway, so Mercury in Capricorn is logic, thinker, persistent, sober, like sober, sober, not in drunk. Sharp always keeps essentials in mind, narrow minded thinking, unimaginative, bone dry, inflexible, humorless, hardcore, pessimistic, always saying no. I want to also, I didn't say earlier that Mercury is how we think, how we communicate. Also, it is our day to day travel. So maybe things are more, you're thinking more long term when it comes to travel. Like it makes me think of the electric cars, which is more of a Uranus aspect, but Mercury is going to think how to do that day to day travel with gas. And if you're purchasing a car, are you going to purchase a car in the mind with the Capricorn energy of long term. Will this card last me long term? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, practical and strategic thinking, structured communication, professionalism, attention to detail, long-term planning, conservative approach, responsible communication, business-minded thinking, concern for reputation, and logical reasoning. Now, Venus is in a sign Scorpio. When we have Venus in a sign Scorpio, it's magnetic and alluring. There's a presence there with that. Passionate and very intense with love, because Venus is about love, desire for depth and meaning, emotional transformation. Scorpio represents transformation. Venus in Scorpio, because Scorpio represents transformation, you can also have, which I've said in several, their surgeries. Also, Scorpio represents transgender, power dynamics in relationship, interest in the occult mysteries or anything taboo, anything that's very dark, anything that's not supposed to be mentioned. Scorpio wants to get in that closet, and you may be attracted to those things. Impressive sexuality, resilience, and love. How's everyone's sex drive doing? I know that's Mars, but you know that Venus, it gets in there, especially in the sign Scorpio. Now, Jupiter and Uranus both are retrograding in the sign Taurus. Anytime you have, first of all, let me just tell you, Earth sign, Taurus. So there's grounded energy. We're talking about tangible things. So there may be blended energies because they're both in the same sign, with practicality, material resources, potential innovations in areas related to finance, agriculture, and the environment, our earth, our land, our resources. Okay. Now, financial innovations can happen, changes in values and beliefs within, especially when it comes to wealth. Anytime you have planets retrograding means that there's some internal, it's more internal than external. So because Jupiter is the biggest planet, so it's very expansive, it's very big, it's about abundance and luck. Uranus is all about innovative, expect the unexpected. So you can expect the unexpected when it comes to material, banking, resources, food, anything tangible, and you're dealing with it internally, okay, in a big way. Earth related transformations, innovations, and real estate. Okay, so that's what we have with those planets retrograding. Now let's get into the moon report. The moon report. Doo-doo-doo-doo. That is my leeway sound effect. Now we have moon in Sagittarius, December 12th, December 13th, moon in Capricorn, December 15th, moon in Aquarius, and December 18th, we have the moon in Pisces. Now, the reason why I do a moon report is because the moon moves really fast. Mercury is the second one that moves fast, but the moon moves faster than Mercury. And because the moon moves fast, that means there's a lot of aspects, and it's relating a lot to the different planets in the sky, and it affects our moods. It's affecting our emotions, what we deem safety, our legacy, our past, but it's very moody. Okay. And since it's moody, I just do an overall report instead of discussing the transits, unless we're dealing with a new moon, a full moon, an eclipse of some sort. So that's what we have here. So I'm doing this moon report, but we are going to talk about the new moon later. So December 12th, which is the new moon in Sagittarius. But anytime you have a moon in Sagittarius, you're associating emotions with love, freedom, adventure, explorations. You're very expressive, could be very optimistic, seeking higher knowledge. This is a time when individuals may feel more a desire for expansion and being more open with their feelings. So yes, and I can relate to that very much so. We'll get into that new moon later. Now, December 13th, moon in Capricorn. The moon in Capricorn can bring us to be more reserved, pragmatic, and there is it doesn't like it here because Capricorn is like, why we're being emotional, you know, and it's polarity ruler, because it's Cancer is the ruler. Moon, the moon is the ruler of Cancer, and Capricorn is the polarity. Emotions may be expressed in a disciplined and controlled manner. There's a focus on responsibility, achievements, and practical matters. And, you know, of all the earth signs, my favorite moon is in Virgo. Just FYI, that's just a little side bit. It works out for me. It makes me focus on my health. I'm really hardworking and at home because I am a homebody. I'm a Cancer sun. Now, moon in Aquarius. Moon in Aquarius fosters a sense of individuality, innovation, and a concern for the collective because it's a humanitarian energy. Emotions may be more detached and rational. because Aquarius is air and is very aloof. With a desire for progressive and unconventional experiences, this is a time for favorable for social interactions and group activities. Maybe a group activity in your home would probably be best, especially talking about the future. Now, December 18th, moon in Pisces, and also you get with that Venus. So Venus is socializing, and if Venus is in a sign of Scorpio, which it is, then you're talking about subjects that will be more about transformative and very deep conversations about the future if you're having something December 15th with that moon in Aquarius. Now, December 18th, moon in Pisces, any water sign is a great time for any type of psychic dreams, intuition, intuitive energy. Okay, so heightened sensitivity, imagination, and compassion. Emotions run deep. It's all about your dreams, connecting to the subconscious. There could be a tendency for empathy and a desire for spiritual and creative pursuits. Be aware of a feeling lack of confidence, okay, and the emotions of probably escaping. Okay, so be aware of that when you're dealing with the moon in Pisces. So let's get on to the transits. And the transits for the collective are, now why is this not, oh, I moved this sign here, you guys. I apologize. Hold on one second. Okay, so December 12th. Okay, so December 12th, Sagittarius New Moon will happen at 3:32. Mercury, which we're here discussing, and you have to do all your new moon rituals tonight. I am filming this December 11th, so Monday, and then Tuesday will be the new moon at 3:32 p.m. So you always do any moon rituals the night before. Mercury in Capricorn will be retrograding at 11:09 p.m. in 8 degrees. The new moon will be in 20 degrees. And I will discuss the degrees. Do not worry. December 16th, Sun in Sagittarius is going to square Neptune in Pisces at 7:43 p.m., 24 degrees. And December 18th, Mercury in Capricorn will be retrograding, trining while it's retrograding Jupiter in Taurus at 6:27 a.m., 5 degrees. And now at 6:27 a.m., you might be feeling that. You're definitely going to be feeling that in a day. And then that sun squaring Neptune, you're probably feeling that more the next day, but you'll feel it more at home, even though we're dealing with that sun. Okay, so let me get into. Sorry about that with my phone. Actually, here we go. Yes. So I'm pulling up the chart and we're going to talk about the 12th, which is the new moon. I'm going to show you guys just so you can see what it looks like. And then that new moon is going to be, I think, in 20 degrees. So I said earlier. Hold on one second. Yes. There we go. So the new moon here is in 20 degrees over here. And at, like I said earlier, 3:32 p.m., 20 degrees. Now, let me just tell you what new moons are. New moons are, actually, sorry, I'm trying to multitask. So, new moons are about manifesting. It's planting a seed for your future dreams. It's a new time for wishes. It's a new time. It's a time for new wishes and new intentions and putting out there in the universe. The new moon and the full moon are the lunar cycle's highest points. Okay. That's why a lot of people, astrologers, work with the new moons and full moons. Now, new moon rituals, because you're starting the new lunar cycle, you can do these things, okay? These rituals, setting intentions, creating a vision board. You can create one on your phone, doesn't have to be a physical one. Meditation and visualization, candle magic, light a candle, preferably a new one during a new moon. Focus on the flame and visualize your intentions coming into fruition. Okay, crystal charging happens. People really think you can just do it in a full moon, but a fresh lunar cycle brings some new energy, so you can use that to charge it. You could do a moon bath, spend time outdoors during a new moon, connect with the energy by sitting in the moon, standing or walking in its light. Reflect on your intentions and observe the rejuvenation of lunar energy. Journaling, releasing ritual, release whatever no longer serves you. Write it down, journal it, burn it. We are dealing with fire energy, so go ahead and burn it away. And yoga and movement. practice. Engage in gentle yoga. I do that a lot. Focus on poses and movements that brings clarity and renewal. Now, like I said earlier, this is going to be in 20 degrees, and 20 degrees is about Scorpio energy. So I mentioned Scorpio before. Transformation. There is a rebirth. There's death. There's birth. There's wealth, because it's also dealing with the power of money, or power or control of money, taking from others, manifestations, secrets, insurance, sex, jealousy, and pregnancy. All that you get. Oh, mystery, anything taboo, psychology. All that you get with the degrees in Scorpio. Now, what does that mean? Some people are like, but it's in the sign Sagittarius. So it's in the sign Sagittarius, which we will get into in a minute, but it's in the Scorpio degree. So there's going to be some layering, okay? May sound complicated for others, but in real life, this is what we do. So for example, if you have a new moon and you're setting some new intentions, and it could be in a certain house, we'll get into the horoscopes later, but let's say it's in that first house of self, okay? You have this new moon, your Sagittarius rising, it's in that first house of self, and it's dealing with something that could be dealing with a transformation of self, but setting new intentions in a Sagittarius way, through transformation, through secrets, something that's taboo, something that's hidden, some insurance, jealousy, maybe a rebirth of some sort. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And we'll get more into that. But now, this new moon in Sagittarius is about getting away, expanding horizons, studying, educational pursuits, searching for meaning, a quest for truth, having fun and taking risks, being grateful, positive shifts in beliefs, adventurous beginnings, optimism and positivity, freedom and independence, setting inspirational goals, cultural and spiritual explorations, expression of authenticity. It is a great new moon. I am a Sagittarius rising, so I'm going to be loving this new moon. So go ahead and set your intentions in those things. Now, I'm going to pull up the houses if you are familiar with the houses. These are the houses for all of the new moons. So if you're Sagittarius rising or Sagittarius, go ahead. Maybe even a moon in Sagittarius. First house is what you get. And Capricorn is 12th house, Aquarius 11th, Pisces 10th, Aries 9th, Taurus 8th, Gemini 7th, Cancer 6th, Leo 5th, Virgo 4th, Libra 3rd, and Scorpio 2nd house. Okay. So that is what we have. We'll get into the horoscopes later. So next we have this wonderful, how can I show this? Oh, here we go. So now we have this amazing, I'm changing the chart, sorry. Mercury retrograding at 11:09 p.m. It is at 8 degrees, which again is a Scorpio degree, 8 and 20 Scorpio degrees, and some transformation is going to be happening here. Mercury represents the power of spoken word, governs our curiosity about the world, because it's about the world. And wait, let me show you on this chart here. Anytime the planets are red, they are retrograding. So our north node and south nodes retrograding. We have Jupiter and Uranus, which I discussed earlier. Chiron, I discussed that last week. It is retrograding, but let me show you Mercury retrograding. 1 second. Is it showing it? There we go. There is Mercury retrograding in 8 degrees. Okay, and you see that it is red, and that happens at 11:09. Mercury represents the spoken and written word. Like I said, it likes to do pranks. It's very curious. There's transactions. It's dealing with money transactions, buying transactions. Mercury, as well as Saturn archetypes, seem to underlie the tendency of many religious groups toward dogma, liberalism, and fundamentalism. It is about our dexterity and being very hands-on, transportation. Everyday travel represents the capacity of our absolute consciousness. Mercury also represents our universal minds, enjoyment of diversity. Mercury loves diversity. Mercury during Gemini season, because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, but you have the rainbow and you have LBGT, which is all diversity, right? So you have that, and Mercury loves diversity. And when we get into the sign, be aware of that. But when Mercury's retrograding, it's going to affect that. It's also dealing with processing because Virgo is all about processing. Mercury is the planet of communication. Now, when it retrogrades, overall, you can have some communication challenges, technical issues, travel issues, delay in revisions, any kind of delay in plans, projects, decision, because it's dealing with that mind and refining. It's better not to do anything new, but just refining is what you want to do. Anything that starts with E, RE, remembering, refining, redoing, okay? Re-entering, anything RE is what you want to do. Contractual caution, it's advisable to exercise caution when entering any contracts because that's dealing with written information. Okay, so read the fine print, clarify terms, especially if you're dealing with your career, long-term goals, or any long-term goals, anything tangible, because Capricorn is the earth sign. But we'll get into that. Introspection and insights. Retrograde period encourage introspection and gaining insights into unresolved issues, avoiding major decisions. I would advise it, but go ahead and do what you want during this Mercury retrograde. It's a period more conducive to reflection and initiation. You don't want to initiate anything, you want to reflect. It's associated with challenges. It's not inherently negative, but it affects people differently because depending on the sign, Capricorn, it's going to be in 8 degrees. So all my Capricorns dealing with this 8 degree, any of the cardinal signs dealing within 8 degrees, but mostly I would say the Capricorns. From my research and my experiences dealing with clients, the Capricorn energy, whatever the sign is in, that energy really gets affected. So let me talk about Capricorn. And actually, before I talk about that, now Mercury goes direct January 1st. Now it's going to, you're still going to feel the residuals of it. You're going to feel the residuals of it about 2 weeks after whatever that original degree that it started to have to repeat, because it has to repeat those lessons. And what else do we have? Oh, and it'll be in the sign Sagittarius. So, and look out for that. That will be next week when I'll discuss that. When it goes into Sagittarius, I'll discuss that. But this is it. No, this is just a current. Sorry, I'm messing with 2 things at once. Okay, so let me tell you about Capricorn. So Capricorn is an earth sign. Capricorn's an earth sign, so it's associated with practicality, stability, and grounded nature. Virgos and Taurus are also earth signs, but the ruling planet is Sagittarius. So it's Sagittarius. The ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn. So it represents discipline, responsibility, structure, and lessons learned through experience. Now, it's a cardinal sign. Other cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, and Libra, but cardinal signs are not a but. Cardinal signs are initiators, leaders, beginnings of new seasons, which is going to also mark our winter solstice. I will do a video on that, which is big deal and big changes, and we already have that during Scorpio season. But anyway, Capricorn is associated with the qualities such as ambition, determination, resilience, and a strong work ethic. Career and ambition, responsibilities and duties, practical and realism, time and patience. Saturn is the father of time. Traditional values. Capricorn is associated with traditional values, structures, and institutions, uniforms, authority in uniforms, father figures, the boss. It appreciates stability, order, and importance in adhering to establishing norms. Now, usually because we have Mercury in the sign Capricorn, then if we go ahead and look at the ruler of Capricorn, which is Saturn in your chart, go ahead and see how those two ties in, because if it's in a certain house, so if Mercury is retrograding, which here is not retrograding, let me do it here. So if Mercury is retrograding and the ruler of, because it's in the sign Capricorn, the ruler is Saturn, and if it's in that house, look at that house and see how that's affecting you. So if it's in the 12th house, there's some boundaries in the sign Pisces. There's some boundaries, some dissolved, or some boundaries that are not clear that are hidden for you. It's in the sign Pisces, 12th house, kind of, it's the same thing. Anyway, but that's going to affect your communication, okay? Or your transportation, or any type of diversity or contracts. Okay, you get the point. Now, Mercury in Capricorn energy also represents family and legacy. Capricorn is connected with the idea of building a legacy and leaving a long lasting impact. Family and tradition may hold significance for individuals with a strong Capricorn influences. And, you know, the polarity of Capricorn is Cancer, and that's also about our legacy and our past. So it's interesting how some polarities have the same thing, but then they have the opposite. Hence, everything is connected. Now, Mercury in the sign Capricorn retrograding. Now, I talked about Mercury, what that means, and now I'm going to talk about in the sign Capricorn and that retrograding. So, when you have it retrograding, you're going to review, redo all the RE words, okay? Anything dealing with practical matters, responsibilities, communication, time, legacy, traditions, responsibility, duty, your career, all the things that I named earlier. So you can have communication challenges in the workplace, reviewing some career plans, reassessing your responsibilities, reassessing how you are with time, practical considerations, delays in communications, because we have Mercury retrograding. If someone doesn't respond, chill, relax, don't rush it, okay? Because Mercury's retrograding, reflecting on long-term plans. Reflect on long-term plans, okay? Now, as a collective, there can be some communication challenges internationally with international relations. Financial market fluctuations could happen because Mercury retrograde in Capricorn can coincide with periods of uncertainty in the financial markets. We are dealing with all this Jupiter in Taurus, okay? And it's retrograding. So, yes, and Uranus in Taurus, which expect the unexpected. Now we have this Mercury retrograding in Capricorn. So, big business, big bosses, big institutions, big structures, all that's retrograding. Just be aware of that. And in Earth sign, okay? Also, Earth sign is, dealing with actual Earth, okay? Now, technical setbacks because Mercury is in charge of all those glitches. Okay, so me doing this live during Mercury retrograde, we're just gonna let it be what it let it be. Okay, reassess, and there should be a reassessment in business and government because Capricorn represents government. Now, let me show you Mercury in Capricorn and what that looks like for each rising or each sign. And I would do the horoscopes, but Mercury retrograding for Sagittarius would be in the second house, Capricorn first, Aquarius 12th, Pisces 11th, Aries 10th, Taurus 9th, Gemini 8th, Cancer 7th, Leo 6th, Virgo 5th, Libra 4th, and Scorpio 3rd. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about December 16th. And we have the sun is going to square Neptune. So we have here the sun here is going to square beautiful Neptune in Pisces, and the sun is in Sagittarius. Neptune, 24 degrees is a Pisces degree. So extra Pisces energy. Neptune is already in the sign Pisces. So sleeping, drugs, alcohol, unconsciousness, our psyche, emotional dejection, something with our feet and endings, something that's hidden, unclear, shadows, madness. Okay. Squares in astrology often signify tensions, friction, and the need for adjustments between the energies of the planets involved. So the sun is our ego, it is our light force, it is our vitality, and it is in conflict and having tension and needs some adjustments with Neptune. And Neptune is all about our spirituality, okay, the things that we cannot vocalize, but we feel it. It's all about feeling. Okay, so there could be tendencies toward self-deception because there is deception with Neptune. There could be escapism, dissolved feelings of selfhood and certainty. So if you're feeling insecure that day with that ego, let it go. Okay. Lack of purpose or direction, a potential for a psychic inflation. I would suggest not getting a reading that day. I would not do that. I would just focus on yourself and let go and let God. But no readings that day. I wouldn't suggest it. Okay, that is December 16th. I actually need to block that day on the calendar. Idealism and reality clash, confusion and misunderstandings are misunderstandings, and we already got the Mercury retrograding. So be aware of that. Spiritual exploration. On a positive note, this aspect can stimulate spiritual exploration on a deeper connection to the mystical side of life. It encourages seeking higher truths and expanding one's understanding of spiritual realm. Because whenever you have that friction, it's making you pay attention to whatever the problem is. Creative and inspiration, because Neptune is associated with creativity and inspiration, and that square can bring some challenges and maybe spark some creative expression. Vulnerability to deception. Be aware of being deceived that day. Any of those things on Instagram that's talking about some type of conspiracy. Okay. Be aware of that, or anything religious. Be aware of that. Or like people saying that they're religious. It makes me think of the guy. What is his name? He's a rapper. He did the cowboy song. He said he was gay, and then he was doing the devil, and now he's like a Christian. Just be aware of things like that. Okay. Escapism versus reality. The square might highlight a tension between the desire for escapism and the need to confront reality. It's essential to find balance between the visionary ideas of Neptune and the grounded approach of your Sagittarius energy. Remember that the sun is in Sagittarius, so it's a risk taker. So maybe you're trying to take a risk with yourself, and there's some delusions there with the Neptune. Okay. So everything that I discussed in Sagittarius, be aware of that. Now, December 18th, we have Mercury, which remember is retrograding. It moved to 5 degrees and it's going to trine Jupiter. Very positive. Trine is not doing any work. God is on your side. The universe is on your side, and things are going to land in your lap. Now, remember, you're dealing with retrograde. So this could be something you need to think about internally. The world may not see it, even though it's touching at Jupiter and it's going to be very big and expansive, but maybe big internally. Okay. 5 degrees is a Leo degree, and a Leo degree is all about attention. So maybe you're on a stage and you're thinking about this in long-term things because you're dealing with Capricorn and you're thinking, but it's retrograding, so there's some reflection there. But Leo is 5 degrees. That's about attention, life, fame, light, children, creativity, self-expression. You could be dealing with some kings and queens, some monarchs, entertainment, strength, and a lot of hair. Okay. Dealing with the heart and gold as well. Go to an expensive mine. I don't know why it says go to an expensive mind, but having an expensive mind, wide range of interests and curiosity, a positive and optimistic outlook, a gift for planning and negotiation. It's a good time for buying and selling when you have this aspect. Remember, Mercury is retrograding now. So I wouldn't actually purchase. My suggestion, I would just be thinking about it and planning it. But something's going to land in your lap, and I wouldn't say to do it then. Just reassess and take your time. Capricorn is about taking your time and thinking long term. Okay. So practical wisdom, strategic thinking, communication in business and finance, optimistic outlook, because you're dealing with that Jupiter, revisiting financial strategies, because we are dealing with retrograde. So revisit, attention to detail, caution in communication. Despite the positive trine aspect, it is advisory to exercise caution in communication. Ensure that messages are clear and be open to revisiting and revising plans as needed. Educational pursuits, because Mercury and Jupiter love to learn. Okay. They are actually polarities here, but they both are in the business of achieving information. One wants it in early stages and one wants it in the higher beyond stages. Okay. So learning and knowledge could be something dealing with they're both in earth signs, so something tangible with learning could be happening here. Okay. So that is what we have for the weekly transits. Next week, Let me see. Do I have what I know what's happening next week, but I'm seeing if I wrote it down. Capricorn season is going to begin next week. Happy solar return to all my Capricorns. We have winter solstice. I'll discuss that. Mercury retrograding is going to change into the sign Sagittarius. Okay. So now we're going to get into our horoscopes. But before that, let me do a collective reading. Let me do a tarot collective reading for the collective. Let me do a reading for the collective. There you go. So the tarot deck that I have is the Light Seers Tarot deck. I think I used this last week, and we're just going to do this for the collective. I always have a crystal on top of my decks before I do a reading, just to charge it, get the energy flowing. And the crystal of my choice for this reading is the amethyst. Love the amethyst. Ooh. And we had a card that fell out, and it's in reverse. It is the Justice card in reverse. Actually, I'm going to pull 3 cards, and then I'm going to connect them. And then we have the 3 of Swords. It's upright. And we'll pull the last card. This is for the collective. And we have the 8 of Wands. Okay, so Okay, because the Justice is in reverse, I'm thinking there's some consequences. There are some disharmony, something that is off balance, and consequences, karma, disharmony, something that is the same as disharmony, something that's not balanced, maybe something in law that's not going to work in your favor. And then you have the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is potential for healing. It's also a heartbreak, could be dealing with heart surgery too. So you have some karma coming, and it's coming in a form of surgery. We are dealing with some Scorpio energy with Venus, and heartbreaks, change of heart. The 3 is some movement. So, but the 3 of Swords is dealing with heartbreak when it comes to words, and you're thinking of heartbreak. Okay. And we have the amazing 8 of Wands. So there's some movement. So it looks like there is some karma coming with some heartbreak, but there's some movement. So there's a potential to healing. I'm thinking as a collective, there is going to be some disharmony. Okay. Some karma. And this gives us a chance to heal. And also too, whenever I see something reverse, I also think of it retrograding. So just rethinking about that disharmony that's happening, and from with the 3 of Swords, so we can heal. And then there's some movement. 8 of Wands is moving fast and very positive, because you see it's a very colorful card if you're watching. But there's some movement. There's some passion, because it's fire. Okay. Fire is lighting that drive and passion. So it's going to be a heartbreak of some sort, something that feels negative. However, this is a potential to heal. Okay. And that is what we have for the collective. Now I'm going to do individual signs. Let me go over here, and we're going to start with our Sagittarius, because it's Sagittarius season. Do I have a beautiful voice? I'm not sure. Okay, so let's start off with our beautiful Sagittarius. Now your new moon is in the first house. Okay, so this is something with, and I'm Sagittarius rising. So something with your identity and personal goals. This is an excellent time to set intentions about self-improvement, new beginnings, and expressing your authentic self. It makes me think of AI and how people are depending on AI to do things, and now it's time to be your true self. Okay, so go ahead and set intentions with that. Mercury retrograding, Sagittarius in the second house. Reevaluate financial matters and investments. Reflect on your values and how they align with your income. Be cautious with financial decisions during any type of retrograde, and also just remember, this is long term. So just take your time. Don't spend anything. Don't buy anything. That's my suggestion. Let me pull a card for you guys. We have the Hangman in reverse. Ooh, the Hangman usually means like pause, or Neptune, meditating, but it's almost like you're in the limelight, and that would make sense because everything's it's in that first house, so it doesn't want you to pause and wants you to move. And very opposite of retrogrades, right? But because it's usually like a pause and reflection, maybe you're taking too long with your pause. Maybe you're moving too slow. Maybe you're stagnant. Maybe you need to tap into your intuition and you're not, because this is more of enlightenment kind of energy. And during this Mercury retrograde, you probably need to move forward and really think about investments and moving forward. And maybe you're stuck in some kind of way. You're stuck with your identity or you're stuck with moving forward, but it's time to move forward. We are dealing with the retrograde though, so take your time, really write it out. Write out everything and really think it through for movement forward, because somehow you're upside down, but it's in reverse. And you should be upside down because you should be looking at things in a different perspective, and you're not looking at it in a different perspective. So go ahead and do that for me, Sagittarius. I will see you guys next time. Well, you know what? Let me do a clarify card and we'll do it at the bottom. And we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is looking into the past, something familiar from your past. So maybe you need to go to your history and look at what your past or what makes you feel comfortable, something you're familiar with. Okay. That can help you out. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Capricorns. Now, your 12th house is where your new moon is going to be. So, reflection on inner world and subconscious patterns. The new moon encourage you to encourage you to do spiritual practices, something religious, because you are dealing with Sagittarius. Self-discovery, releasing old baggage. Especially releasing and being very optimistic with that. Focus on rest and rejuvenation. Mercury is going to be in your first house. Reflect on your identity, personal goals, and self-expression. Just reflect. Okay. And then what else do we have? Consider how you communicate your desires and be mindful of self-presentation. Reassess your personal projects. And then we have the Hierophant. Yeah, this is someone who is studying within. The Hierophant is very traditional as well. We're dealing with that Capricorn. A traditional teacher is a Hierophant. Traditional teacher. Looks like he's got to go up some stairs here, climb up some stairs. He's going to take his time. Very Taurus energy, so it's going to take his time. I'm thinking you need to take your time in whatever that's going on with this reflection of all sorts, because you're doing a lot of inner work. Okay, a lot of inner work. And Hierophant is also dealing with spirituality and looking at your traditions and not conforming into anything. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Aquarius, you are dealing with the 11th house. Strengthen. Your new moon is going to be in your 11th house. It's about your social connections, set intentions related to group activities, friendships, and community involvement, networking, and collaborative projects. Now, Mercury is going to be in your 12th house, so dive into your subconscious. There's spiritual practice here. Reflect on your past. Reconsider hidden motivations and explore inner healing. Be mindful of dreams and intuition with this energy, especially when it comes to things long term. Let me pull a card for all my Aquarius. Ooh, there is a transition here. It's transition in the way you're thinking, transition in the way you're speaking. So yes, just know that there's a transition here for all of my Aquarius. Very positive transition, I'm sure, because transitions are always good. And then at the bottom, you have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is going to be all about romance and compassion and intuition, which you do have some 12th house energy. So really tap into that intuition and reflect on water emotions. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Pisces. 10th house is where that new moon is. And that new moon is about your career, public recognition, taking center stage. Set goals for professional growth, leadership, or new projects that deal with long-term energy. And because it's Sagittarius too. So things that are very expensive and very big. Okay, big. Your reputation, and ambitions are going to come into focus. Now, 11th house is where that Mercury is retrograding. So we connect with friends and social groups, reflect on long-term goals and aspirations, reevaluate your involvement in the community or any type of humanitarian actions. Okay. Let me pull a card for you, Pisces. We have the Five of Cups, and the five is all about change and conflict. And when we're dealing with the cups, it could be like a grief or loss. So there could be a grief or loss in some way. Let me pull up And we have the 7 of Swords. So it looks like to me when you have the 5 of like what you lost and you're sad, but you still have things that God has given you. You just have like your back towards it. You're focused on more of what you lost and grief. And then you have the 7 of Swords. It's like someone stole something and you're grieving that. And there's some shadiness, some infidelity during this. So be aware of that. I think that Mercury in retrograde may be something with that. But you have to think long term. Do not react. Just think and reflect. Okay. That's the most important thing. Yeah. 11th house, not 11th house, the 10th house. No, 11th house. Could be 10th house career too. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Aries. Ninth house is where that new moon is. Explore higher learning, travel, and philosophical pursuits. The new moon encourages you to broaden your horizons, set goals related to education, new adventures, anything dealing with law and religion, higher learning. Okay. Or maybe a new adventure on travel, something that's dealing more with the world and not the small world. Mercury retrograding is in that 10th house. So reflect on your career path and professional goals. Reevaluate your ambitions, your communication style in a workplace, things that are dealing with long term traveling as well, traveling day to day, traveling for work. Consider adjustments in your public image. And we have the Page of Cups, and a Page of Cups is earth and water. Okay. So it's going to take its time with its compassion and its spirituality and its intuition. And loving others. Okay. So be aware of that energy. Use this card. Think of the Page of Cups. Really tap into the intuition with working with these things here and being loving and compassionate across the board, and really dealing with that psyche. Even dreams are huge. So be aware of that. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Taurus. New moon is going to be in your 8th house. It's very deep, okay? Very emotional, very intense, and dive deep into emotional connections and set intentions about maybe some shared resources, joint ventures, anything that's dealing with a transformation, anything that's dealing with healing, anything dealing with psychology, even intimacy. Focus on healing and letting go. Now, Mercury's in that 9th house, and reassess your beliefs and philosophies. Reflect on educational pursuits, travel plans, legal matters. Consider revisiting past academic or intellectual interest. Okay. And let's see what we have for you guys. We have the Queen of Swords. So, yeah, I'm thinking you're learning, you're reading. The Queen of Swords is definitely very vocal and communicative. And I know you're dealing with that Mercury retrograde in that 9th house, and it's thinking about long term. But I'm thinking this is going to be a change in how you communicate. And you're going to be the Queen of Swords. So, communication, being very confident in your words. And this is probably going to teach you a lesson in that. Okay. But embark that Queen of Swords, really be communicative, do your research, learn a lot. And that's what we get. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Gemini. New moon is going to be in that 7th house. The 7th house is about partnerships and relationships, both professional and personal. Set intentions in improving any type of relationship. Anytime you have 7th house, anytime you have 7th house energy, it's like you're mirroring the behavior and you're doing something. The energy is focused to a partner, it's focused to someone else. So, for example, if you want to get your car fixed, you wouldn't fix it, you would go to a mechanic. If you want to get some healing, you wouldn't really heal yourself, you would go through a professional like a therapist or an astrologer or a tarot reader. You know what I mean? It's going through someone else. So that is what you have with that new moon. So go ahead and manifest something through the power of someone else, which is okay. Everyone is focused on the individual and being independent, but we do need each other at times. Okay. Mercury retrograding is in the 8th house, very deep emotional house. It's all about healing and doing so much healing. So get ready for that, because that could be some long term or taking your time with healing. Reflect on shared resources, joint ventures, intimacy, reevaluate financial partnerships, and consider any changes in approach to deep connections. There could be some transformation happening with that Mercury when it comes to your career. Okay. And we have the Page of Swords. This is earth and air. So really taking your time to read. Take your time. It makes me think of Mercury retrograde in the sign Capricorn, but take your time in reading, read the fine print. Do not move fast. You are like an apprentice when it comes to words and communication. All right. And socializing. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Cancer, your new moon is going to be in the sixth house. That's about health, daily routines, and that's going to take precedence. Use this new moon to set intentions for your well being, work related goals, positive lifestyle changes, anything dealing with pets and self analyzing. Mercury is going to retrograde in your seventh house. That's the house of partnerships, whether it's professional or personal. So reflect on communication patterns with others, consider adjustments in how you express your feelings to loved ones. Okay. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. So what you weep will sow. Okay. Watch what you are growing. Take your time and patience. This is someone who's really taking the time. They're planting a seed. They're taking the time. They're going to persevere. But when you plant something, it harvests later. So you really want to plant that seed and take your time and watch it grow. But something is growing from what you are planting, especially with that Mercury retrograde. And remember, Mercury retrograde, it's about reevaluating and thinking and reassessing, not actually doing. Okay. So be aware of that. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leos, your new moon is in the fifth house. Focus on creativity, romance, and self expression. Set some intentions on some projects, some creativity that bring you joy, maybe some new hobbies, enhance relationships with children, giving the fertility or birth to something, being on stage. Set your intentions on that, even like getting some big hair, okay? Something with your heart and something with gold also is dealing with that fifth house. Now, Mercury retrograding in the sixth house, so reflect on your daily routines, habits, health habits, work environment, reevaluate communication on the workplace, consider adjustments and for efficiency and being organized, because that is all that sixth house is also representing. Okay, diminishing the crap. Okay, for long-term energy, we have the Ace of Wands. So God is giving you the fire and the drive. Okay, so what are you going to do with it? Something's going to start. It's happening. Ace is about new beginnings, right? And God is giving you this opportunity of a spark and a drive. Okay, passion, something, creativity, maybe even a spark of confidence too, because there's confidence with that fire. Ooh, and you're Leos. We're dealing with Leos. Okay, Leo, you got it. You in your wheelhouse. Okay, because we are dealing with that fifth house. Set those intentions. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Virgos. Now, this is your new moon is going to be in the fourth house, home, family. That's the spotlight, female energy, your mother, your legacy, your past. Set intentions on domestic harmony, home improvements, or family connections. Emotional well being is essential. Now, Mercury retrograde is going to be in that fifth house. So, this is all about creativity and hobbies. So, maybe you got to reconnect with that. Maybe you need to reflect on something dealing with your romantic relationships or self-expression. Consider adjustments in how you communicate with joy and passion. Mercury in that house of fire. Ooh, it's all about conflict. So really take your time with communicating, okay? Especially when it comes to bosses or people of authority. And we have the Page of Cups. This is someone who is moving slow and they're compassionate at the same time. They're really going to have some compassion with working with others. There's healing aspects with the Cups energy too. So take your time when it comes to healing. Take your time when it comes to love. Take your time when it comes to nurturing, okay? Nurturing of self and others. Take your time when it comes to emotions as well. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Libra. Your new moon is in the third house. Communication and learning are emphasized. Set intentions for clear and effective communication, educational pursuits, local and community engagement. Mercury in that third house, big on communication, things that are written. Maybe if you're writing a book, okay. New moon Sagittarius, writing a book about freedom. Okay, writing a book about the world or something that's dealing with a different culture, something that's dealing with law and religion or philosophy. Okay, anything written, anything dealing with freedom and writing. Okay, set your intentions for that. And Libras, Mercury's retrograde in that fourth house, reflection of home, family dynamics, emotional security. Reevaluate communication with your domestic sphere and consider adjustments in family matters, especially when it comes to something of the maternal side where you feel safe, your legacy, your past. Okay. For the long term, for your not really the future, but long term goals. Okay. Which is the future, but yeah, it's the future. It's a long pause. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is like you can't decide, but we're gonna let faith decide for you. Okay. Also, it could be like two people are thinking the same thing, but kind of not agreeing. And watch your words. You're blindfolded in here, so it's like you can't see what you are saying or thinking, and maybe it's all in your head, and it's some some Five of Wands. It's some type of competition happening, maybe with the two different opinions. There's a competitions or a conflict of some sort that's going to have some fire in it. Fire, which is drive and passion with this conflict. So, but competition is a good thing. It's not negative, but let's let faith decide. Remember not to do much, especially when it comes to that Mercury retrograding. Just reflect, reevaluate, reassess, reconnect, and initiate later after it stops retrograding, which is January 1st. But we'll give it 2 weeks after that. So let's wait until the 12th. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Scorpios. Now, the new moon is in your second house. So you want to set some intentions with finances and self-worth. That's going to take center stage. Set intentions with financial stability, increase self-esteem, material goals. Focus on cultivating your resources. Now, Mercury's retrograding in that third house, and that is all about communication. So communication is going to be a big thing. Maybe dealing with some siblings, some neighbors. Reflect on short-term plans. Even though we had that Sagittarius new moon, but with this Mercury, while it's retrograding, because you're in that third house, it's more about the short term, and reconnect within your immediate environment. So I'm thinking short term for long term. So think about short term right now, for that is going to eventually be long term, because the Capricorn is long term, but it will be retrograding in Sagittarius. We'll get into that later. So let me see what we have for you guys, Scorpio. And we have the King of Wands. So this is someone who has a double fire, very passionate, very courageous, very strong, very confident. What else? The passion and the drive is there. Self-motivator, okay? Motivator for others, okay? That is what you have to embody. Or maybe a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. You need to embody that energy, really be external with this. And this is not the time to move, but this is the time to have the fire and drive, okay? I will see everyone next time. If you have watched this to the end, please put an emoji down. What emoji should we do? A tree. Let's do a tree, okay? Maybe a Christmas tree. Do a Christmas tree. And until then, I will see everyone next time, or hear everyone next time. Bye.